America's national debt just crossed 38 trillion. Not a projection, not a future estimate. This is the real number sitting on the books as of December 2025. And if you believe that number has nothing to do with your life, your savings, or your future, then you need to listen very carefully. Because while most people were scrolling social media and watching Netflix, something historic started happening behind the scenes. The largest financial institutions on earth began doing something they have not done in more than 75 years. They are quietly moving massive amounts of money out of dollar-denominated assets. No press conferences, no breaking news banners, just silent, systematic capital movement. This is not conspiracy. It's documented in public filings, treasury data, and capital flow reports that anyone can verify. By the end of this video, you'll understand what's happening, why it's happening, and what comes next. Because there is a pattern here, a mathematical pattern, that has repeated 3 times in the last 500 years. Same stages, same warning signs, same ending, and we are watching it unfold again right now in real time. The only question is whether you'll recognize it, or whether you'll one day ask the same question millions before you asked, "How did I not see this coming?" Global debt has now reached $251 trillion according to the IMF. That's 235% of global GDP, the highest level ever recorded during peacetime. In the US alone, debt jumped from 36.1 trillion in January 2025 to 38.4 trillion by December, a 2.3 trillion increase in just 11 months. But here's what almost nobody's talking about. This exact scenario has already happened before. 3 times. And every single time, the country holding the world's reserve currency collapsed within 36 months of smart money leaving. Not similar outcomes, identical ones. Because once this process reaches a certain stage, it becomes mathematically unstoppable. Every major economic collapse over the last 5 centuries followed the same 4-stage cycle. Stage 1, ascension. A nation becomes the center of global finance. Capital floods in. Its currency becomes the standard for global trade. Markets boom. Confidence is absolute. This phase usually lasts 50-80 years. Stage 2, overextension. Success breeds excess. Governments spend beyond their means. Wars, foreign interventions, massive domestic programs. Debt grows faster than the economy. Central banks print to keep the illusion alive. Asset prices explode. Everyone feels rich. This phase lasts 20-40 years. Stage 3, the silent exodus. This is the critical phase. The public doesn't see it. Politicians deny it. But institutions that read balance sheets do. Capital quietly rotates out. Foreign investors reduce exposure. Wealth moves internationally. No panic, just precision. This phase lasts 18 to 36 months. Stage 4, collapse. Reserve currency status is lost. Foreign holders dump assets. Inflation surges. Interest rates spike. Stocks, bonds, and real estate crash together. Banks fail. Pensions vanish. The middle class is crushed. And afterward, everyone asks the same question. History proves this pattern. Spain in the 1500s. The Dutch Republic in the 1600s. Britain in the 1900s. Different empires, different centuries. Same result. Spain drowned in gold and silver. Spent recklessly, borrowed endlessly, and defaulted repeatedly until its empire collapsed. Amsterdam became the financial capital of the world, overleveraged itself through war and hidden banking fraud, and fell almost overnight. Britain ruled global trade for 200 years, financed 2 world wars with debt, watched capital flee to America, and lost reserve currency status forever. Each time, the money moved first. The collapse came later. Now look at the United States. After World War II, the dollar became the global reserve currency. Capital flooded in. Markets dominated. Stage 1 complete. In 1971, the dollar was severed from gold. Spending exploded. Debt skyrocketed. Money printing became policy. U.S. national debt has risen over 4,200% in 45 years. Total debt, government, corporate, and household, now exceeds $100 trillion, roughly 370% of GDP. For comparison, Spain collapsed near 200%, the Dutch Republic near 250%. Britain lost reserve status at 130%. The US is far beyond all three. Interest payments alone now exceed $1 trillion per year. That's more than defense, more than Medicare, and it's growing fast. So how is it paid? By printing more money. The result? Inflation, asset bubbles, and extreme inequality. Stage 2 is complete. Now comes Stage 3. China has reduced U.S. Treasury holdings by hundreds of billions. Japan is selling. Saudi Arabia is reducing exposure. European nations are reallocating. Even the Federal Reserve is shrinking its own balance sheet. Major institutions, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bridgewater, are restructuring portfolios away from concentrated dollar exposure and toward commodities, gold, infrastructure, and emerging markets. This is not collapse yet. This is the quiet exit. What comes next if history holds? The dollar slowly loses dominance. Trade settles in alternative currencies. Dollar demand falls. Excess dollars return home. Inflation accelerates. The Federal Reserve faces an impossible choice. Raise rates and make the debt unpayable, or print and destroy the currency. Either path leads to the same destination. Asset prices fall together. Liquidity vanishes. Institutions fail. The middle class pays the price. This is not pessimism. It's precedent. Every empire believed it was different. None of them were.